Welcome guys, I'm HOJ, and in today's video we'll be doing 3 best of 1 ranked ladder games for Standard for my mono white Lifegain deck that I've been kind of messing around with past couple days. Really been enjoying it. First I'll kind of go into some of the deck updates, then we'll do the games, and then I'll do a short recap with kind of the win percentages at the end. In the description, you're going to find playlists for all of my decks, as well as all of the standard events, all of the limited and sealed events, and then the full playlist for this deck, where I go in detail over every card, so if you want to check that out for kind of a deeper dive, and a couple other playlists as well. And then you'll also see the full deck list on moxfield.com, all of the win rate percentage stats on untap.gg, and then also a link there if you'd like to subscribe and if you like my content. So jumping in, I played a couple ladder games today. I'm currently rank, I believe, 369 or 370. So what I've found is kind of some of the tougher matchups surprisingly have been Boros Burn and Mono Red Aggro, which with all the life gain, I didn't expect to be as big a deal, but because they have access to Screaming Nemesis, and they, can activate it as soon as turn 3, if they have like the 1/1 guy who can sack and do a damage, just to turn off life gain, it's actually a pretty tough deck. Also, I wanted to make some more room for the Reanimator match, because if they have that turn 4, they can just win the game on the spot. So I wanted to make sure I had some answers there. And then against blue-white control is always, it has a presence in the top 250 usually, and wanted to have some good protection against board wipes. So with that in mind, I ended up cutting the exemplars at the top of the curve, which are the 3/3 angels that get counters whenever you gain life and draw cards once per turn. So they're a great card, but I just wanted to really sort of lower the curve, maybe cut a land or two, just make some more room for some earlier interaction. So as a result, I have a full playset of Kutzil's Flanker, which is primarily there for the Reanimator matchup. It's also really good against Is It Cauldron, just to be able to get their yard in response to Cauldron if they happen to get a Vivi in the yard. And then also I have 1 copy of Soul Guide Lantern as kind of like the 5th answer for Graveyard, which does cycle, so it's not like a huge pain in matches where it's dead. So I have 5 answers kind of for Graveyard decks. And then in terms of board wipes, Kutzil's Flanker also doubles as sort of pseudo board wipe protection, where if you have like 2 or 3 guys out and they do a board wipe, you can play it at the end of the turn to get +1/+1 counters for every creature that left the battlefield under your control this turn. So it's, can be like either a 5 or 6 power threat coming into the next turn, which can turn it around. And then also 3 copies of Ademi of the Silkchutes, which is really nice at protecting some of our big guys, the payoffs in the Ajani's Pridemate and the Essence Channelers, just by being able to give them hexproof in a pinch, and also to be able to protect our team by giving everybody indestructible, which is great against like Day of Judgment, Ultima, and I think there's a couple others, but just all around very nice. It's also a 3/2, it can gain flying, and it is a flash creature, so it's just all around fantastic card. With that in mind, I just ended up cutting kind of the top of the curve, shaved one of the Fountainports, so we now have 2 Fountainports, 2 starting towns. Just kind of depending how this feels, I might add another starting town. I think 2 feels right now, because the pain actually really does hurt against the mono red matchup. But having access to be able to turn our Essence Channelers into flying threats is also really nice. So play around with it, see how it goes. And then in addition, adding in a full playset of Lupinflower Village has just been fantastic in terms of kind of mid to late game refilling, because it does hit, I believe, 16 targets in the deck. So literally a quarter of the deck is a hit. You've got the Healer Hawks, Hinterland Sanctifier, Ruin-Lurker Bat, and then also Essence Channeler are all active cards that you can pick up off of the Lupinflower Village. So with those changes, let's hop into the games. But just as kind of a side note, I have really been enjoying the Best of One Standard events, and so if you guys want to keep seeing those, please put it in the comments. I really enjoy doing them, and it's kind of nice to be able to show you guys, some wins and some packs open, etc. But let's jump into some ranked ladder. I just picked up the cards for Jeskai Control, so that's I'm sort of excited to show you guys that one too, hopefully in like a Best of One Standard event soon. Let me know what you guys think. All right, opening hand looks great. We are on the draw. Got the nice turn 1, turn 2. If we pick up another like Sanctifier or something like it, oh, it looks like it's a mirror match here. I have seen a couple of the mirror matches running the ley line, which I cut quite some time ago, and I could have been wrong, but I just felt like it was kind of like a win more card in certain matchups, so we'll see how it plays out. It could definitely be very strong though. Okay, so this is black-white, a little bit different. Also a really nice Lifegain deck here, and they've got some great cards coming. Do we want to get rid of the Haliya? It is kind of an annoying card that does give some advantage. The problem is if they have removal, we're not really building our board up too much. I kind of like Pridemate into doing this sort of next turn. So let's get the Pridemate going. And then next turn we can warp Haliya and use Sheltered by Ghost if we want to. Although we are giving them some potential more draws here, so not sure if it's right, if we were supposed to just get rid of it right away. All right, now, yeah, let's just go ahead and warp Haliya in, just so we can double spell this turn. And I think we want to get rid of the Agir, just because of the extra card advantage. Yep, we'll pay the life. Now, there's a decent chance they've got their own Sheltered by Ghosts, so that is worth considering. Although this is nice because we draw an extra card here. Okay, they've got their own Haliya, makes sense. And Pridemate, okay. It's a pretty good turn. A little surprised by the attack, though. All the Haliyas. All right, we can start warping them in. And then I think we just want to play one of them. Even though we'll lose the warped one, it's fine. Okay, taking down their Pridemate is really nice. And they do have Exemplar, which is a good card. I mean, I really do like that card. It's just, I guess they're trying to keep their life total up for this Leyline. You see, this is what kind of how I feel about the Leyline. It's sort of win more a little bit when they find themselves in these kind of situations. Okay, let's actually trying to decide if we want to. Let's Lupinflower first, see what we find. Yeah, there we go. That feels pretty good. Now they're going to move the counters around. So they are going to draw another card here. Again, Exemplar is great. And another channeler. Curious if they send anything in here. Not 100% sure I agree with that attack. It's fine. But like this way they can't gain life on our turn. All right, now let's go ahead and give our guy Flying and Vigilance. And we're happy to make this trade. They are drawing quite a few cards here, though, so they're definitely keeping pace with us. Yeah, Sheltered by Ghost. That's what I was afraid of. They might have just pulled ahead here with all the card advantage off Exemplar. Not sure if it was right to cut it from the deck, but this is not really a match I see that often. We don't really care about the life here. Let's see, if we block, is this big enough to get through? Depending on what we draw. I guess we also want it like potentially as like a way to put the counters somewhere. So maybe we don't. Like we need 3 more. I guess we could just play Haliya in the worst case scenario. And that would make this thing big enough to kill the Exemplar. Actually, it'll be a 15-15. So maybe we do need to block. Yeah, I think I like blocking here. Flanker is pretty good. Do we want to replay Haliya? I mean, they're at 50, they can just take the hit. Maybe we go searching. Suppose we could also keep this back so we can block the Ruin-Lurker Bat. It's another possibility. Okay, swing and a whiff. Yeah, I guess if we flanker here, we have 4 triggers. It's big enough to fight through it. They come back for another 10 next turn. Plus potentially quite a bit more. I think we do it. Channeler is good. Yeah, and they just take the hit. That kind of makes sense. Ooh, double Sheltered by Ghost. That's pretty brutal. Whew, okay. That might have just done it. I think in this specific matchup, yeah, the extra cards are drawing off Exemplar is pretty nasty. Oh, and you know what? Yeah. That was actually a mistake because they've got ley lines. This was going to be bigger. I think it's pretty much done anyways. I don't think we're coming back. Double Essence Channeler. Yeah. They're so far ahead with the double Sheltered by Ghosts at this point. Even though we're at 66, I think the game is pretty much over. Actually, we could have warped there and gotten both channelers out. I think we're just done. Yeah, the extra cards off Exemplar plus double Sheltered by Ghosts is pretty backbreaking. Do we have to block here? I think we do. 31, 54s. Yeah. I guess we don't technically have to block, but I don't think we're coming back from this. It's just not going to do it. Interesting build, yeah. Could be that the Orzhov version is just better. I haven't played it, so I don't know. But I just kind of wanted to lower the curve as much as possible. Okay, like this hand, looks good. It's also like a minor combo here with Zora and Ademi, which is kind of nice. Okay, looks like we're up against, yeah, Reanimator. We have the flanker in hand, so we're set up for it. So we just want to make sure we hold this open next turn, so on 4 they can't just sack our team. If they want to fill out the yard a little bit more, that's fine. Now we can just clean out their yard a little bit. And I don't think they can go off next turn. I guess let's attack first, see what they do. But now we can just go Haliya into Essence Channeler. I don't think they can just go off nothing here. I guess if they have 6 mana, they could potentially put something in and get us. If they have like another Overlord, maybe we just play it safe. I guess we just, let's play it safe here. They theoretically could get us. It's unlikely, but it's possible. Harvester. That's fine. Again, they're not quite set up for it. So I think now we just go for Haliya plus... Let's see, if we do Haliya plus Essence Channeler... Or we could do Haliya plus Sheltered by Ghosts. The problem is if they have removal, it's pretty awkward. So you're opening the door here, but I don't think they can go off unless they've got like the exact setup in hand. Okay, we've got another one set up, so we need flanker ready. I guess we just sit here. Yeah, we need a little bit extra land to kind of get things going. I guess this turns into like an X7. Depends on how they block. I think we just wait for end of turn here again. I think we want to take out Kiora. Actually, let's get Bailmerk. Actually, they're probably going to go for the -2/-2, or that's I think their hope. So maybe let's do Kiora and play it safe. Okay, they're going for it. Now we get him again. They can get one of our creatures, but it's not nearly as bad. Okay, finally got a little bit more land. So now we can go... I guess we can get rid of another Bailmerk here and then push in for some damage. Can also get Essence Channeler down or Haliya. I think Haliya will be nice, get us some extra card draw going. Oh, you know what? Never mind. I forgot they had a 4/4 here. That was a mistake. Shouldn't have attacked the flanker. Yeah, they're really going for it here. Although we've got another Kutzil's flanker, so we're not super worried about it. But they do seem to have infinite blockers. Question is if they do they attack with the Overlord? But yeah, it's matches like this where it just really comes in handy having all the flankers and all the graveyard hate. Not sure what they're planning here. Okay. Again, we want to make sure we have access to flanker. So I think actually, let's get Haliya going. Oh no, we don't have enough mana. They could get back Kavero. I guess they don't have anything super scary in the yard right now, so maybe like this is an okay turn to go off. If we Haliya plus Channeler, that gets us up to 11. They could kill it. Harvester again is sort of annoying, but that's about it. If they have removal, maybe we're supposed to like leave one up, but yeah, we do have some pretty good stuff there. I kind of just want to get this channeler going. I feel like we just got to make a move here. Yeah, I guess if they flip over the right stuff with Overlord and they have the another Kavero in hand, could be annoying. But now we can just hold flanker and feel pretty good. Okay, can they do 13? Not quite, no. And we're happy to trade here off Channeler. Let's put this, I guess, on Haliya. Soul Guide backup feels pretty good. Nice try. That one should do it. All right, let's see if we can find something. And then we can have Soul Guide ready. Let's get rid of our channeler here, just in case. And we can trade in Haliya if we need to. Just trying to push the game. So they have to block our Pridemate. They can take another 13, try to buy some time. Zora, yeah, that's fine. Make him pay the ward first. Not today. Yeah, that's gonna do it. So yeah, having all the extra access to the Graveyard Hate is pretty useful there. We had to use a couple different pieces in that particular match. They definitely fought tooth and nail there at the end. Gonna need to mulligan here for land. Okay, that looks good. We can throw back a Haliya. It is possible maybe we're supposed to keep 2 land there and just keep both Haliyas in case they've got removal. But it is sort of nice to have access to 3. Okay, it looks like we're up against another Reanimator deck. We've got Flanker ready. Yeah, there really are a lot of these in best of 1. Let's get Channeler going. Actually, let's get Pridemate because that'll be a 2/2. Another flanker is always welcome. Can't really go off super big time. It's sort of annoying, but it's not like the end of the world here. I guess they'll have 3 more cards here, so it's potential that we're supposed to hold flanker. I really want to go like Haliya into Channeler though, because like we do also have to end the game. So there's a chance, like if the top 3 cards here are, yeah, basically we take a chance or we try to like play it safe and do kind of a slow game. I think I'm just gonna go for it. Don't know if it's right, but like making some headway on the board seems really good. Plus we draw some extra cards. Oh God, they got it. Oh, you got it. Are you kidding me? All right, yeah, well, that was my mistake. Whew, they didn't have the land, thank God. Okay. So yeah, maybe we should just played it safe there. If they had the land plus the Kavera, it would have been over. There's the Kavero. They're all set up, planning to go off next turn. We'll kind of play dumb like we don't know what's happening. They probably block here to fill their yard even more. Yep. I guess, do we respond to this? Maybe we should have responded before this happens. I kind of want them to play the Kavero, though. Sure. They can get a Pridemate. They need to refill their yards, so I think we have a turn off. I guess if they have like a 2 mana, they could potentially get into it, but I think we take a turn off here. We can go for Haliya. We could go for a Channeler plus Sheltered by Ghosts. It's a little dangerous putting this in Sheltered by Ghosts, though, because then they can sort of redo it. We are getting 2 spells, though, which is pretty good. Yeah, I'm not sure here. I guess we draw more cards this way. I think I'm going to go the other way, though. Maybe we put the Sheltered by Ghosts on like the... Actually, we want to get ahead on life, so let's put it on the Channeler. Be nice to have an Ademi here to protect it. But like if they can't do something right now, we can get flying next turn and just kill them. Okay, they got a good one in the yard. So now we should probably set up for another flanker. Because if they go Caveron, then they, beginning of combat, exile one target creature card. 5/5 Black Demon. Okay, so they can go for Kiora. It's not the end of the world. And is it just demons that have? Yeah, just demons. So that's actually not the worst. We could go for Haliya here. We could also just make a Fountainport token to get these things flying. I kind of like that to try to end the game. They do have the ability to really get there the next turn if they like go Bailmerk into something, so I do want to be a little careful. I think we just go for the... I think we actually just wait a turn, build these up, and then try to kill them next turn. Yeah, it's a little bit not very exciting, but I think just we got to play it a little safe here. All right, let's get their yard. Okay, there's Ademi. So now if we sack a creature, we can get some guys in the air. It's not enough to kill them because they can block with the Scholar, unfortunately. But it's a start. They could still get us here. They've got a 1 turn window. Ah! Oh my god, they got it. No, no, not like this. Oh, jeez. Oh my god. I hate this deck. I mean, it's a good deck. It really is. Gotta hand it to him. Should have just gone with patience. Yeah, they had 1 chance to do it. That was the last possible turn. I guess learn from my misplays. And yeah, we're pretty much dead here. I don't think we can... These are... Yeah, we're pretty much done. I don't think we can get them. Well, we tried. But as you can see, there's a fair amount of it in the meta right now, so having good answers for it is pretty important. Yeah, overall, I'm not sure if cutting the exemplars was right. Just trying to lower the curve against like the super hyper aggressive decks seems pretty good, and I don't know where to make cuts. So would I change anything? You know, I kind of like it where it is, at least until further notice. But let's take a look at the actual stats. All right, so we're at 54% win rate, 67% win rate on the play, 44% on the draw. This does include all the versions of the deck, and there have been quite a few. But yeah, overall, this is kind of where it's at. I think some of the really hard matchups is Reanimator when we're not prepared for it. I do like the changes to the deck that I've made to give us more kind of game against it. Four color control is also a little bit tough. We have a decent matchup against mono red, and Boros is close to 50-50. Mono green and mono black are looking good. A little bit north of 50% here against Dimir mid-range, and the same for Is It Cauldron. But yeah, as you can see, like Sultai Reanimator is not a great matchup currently, and those changes were there to kind of help bring that a little bit more north. Azorius control is always tough, and then part of these, though, are a considerable number of these matchups is the Azorius Artifact deck, which is very, very difficult because they have full play set of the Pinnacle Star Cage plus a full play set of the Repurposing Bay, which can then go and find the Star Cage at instant speed. So that's pretty nasty. And I think it also tracks it as Jeskai sometimes, because if they play the 4 mana everything gets haste, I think they have 1 red card in the deck that shoves it into the Jeskai pile. So yeah, that's a tough matchup. But overall, I am pretty happy with the deck. Try it out. I think it's worth crafting, and we will see you in the next one.